Hello, my name is Jacqueline Pollauf, and today I am excited to announce something new. This fall, the fall of 2020, I'm going to be presenting in an online mini concert series. So on the third Friday of each month at noon Eastern Time, I will be performing a half-hour long concert. And my plan is to stream all of these concerts through my YouTube channel, so anyone anywhere can watch. And all of the concerts will be free, but donations will be accepted. And for each of the 4 concerts, I have a different theme, focusing on a different composer. So today I wanted to tell you a bit about those themes and play some passages of music that will be featured in the concert. And then during the concerts, I'll play several pieces by the composer and talk a bit about them. September's concert is coming right up. It will take place on September 18th and feature the music of Alphonse Hasselmans. Hasselmans was a Belgian-born harpist who lived most of his life in France. And he lived from 1845 to 1912, and he spent many years teaching at the Paris Conservatory. Many of the students that he taught there went on to become the giants of the harp world in the 20th century, so he's really revered for his teaching. He also composed quite a bit. He has about 50 or 60 published pieces for the harp, and I'm going to play 5 of those on September's concert. His music, as you might expect, is very much in the French Romantic style, and I think for many people, his music sort of typifies what you expect from a harp. It's all the stereotypes, but in the best way possible. So today I wanted, as a little bit of a preview, to play a passage of the main theme of his very well-known piece, La Source. For October, I'll be presenting the music of Sergio Natra. Natra is a current composer. He was born in 1924 in Romania, and he now lives in Israel. And he's really a prolific composer, especially so when it comes to the harp. He has many solo and chamber works for the instrument. And his style tends to be quite dramatic. There are a lot of contrasts in his music. For example, he'll have these rhythmic, repetitive passages, and then those will be followed by free and flowing passages. There's also a lot of dramatic contrasts in terms of dynamics within his music, and he writes for the harp in some unusual and surprising ways, sort of the ways that he uses the instrument and approaches it. So frequently, when I perform his music, afterwards people will come up to me and they'll say that they were a bit suspicious about this contemporary composer, but that they really enjoyed his music and were especially surprised by some of the things that the harp could do and the ways that it could sound in his pieces. Today, I wanted to play a short passage from the middle of a piece he wrote called Prayer. In November, I will be performing a concert of the Transcriptions of Marcel Grandjany. Now, because the harp does not have an extensive repertoire, the way that, say, the violin or the piano does, much of our repertoire comes from transcriptions. And Marcel Grandjany was a French harpist who studied with Alphonse Hasselmans and eventually immigrated to the US and taught at Juilliard for a long time. He also composed quite a few original works for the harp, and in addition to that, he worked to expand the repertoire through transcriptions. And some of his transcriptions were of really famous, well-known works or pieces by really well-known composers, and others were transcribing the music of composers who were much more obscure. So I wanted to take November's concert to kind of explore some of these different transcriptions, both some well-known pieces and some less well-known pieces. For today, I wanted to play a little bit of a transcription he did of a piece called Pavane. This was written by Antoine Francisque, who is not a particularly well-known composer, and it comes from a collection of pieces he wrote for the lute in the year 1600. For the final concert of this fall concert series, I will be playing the music of Johann Sebastian Bach. And Bach is my favorite composer, so I'm really looking forward to this one, both performing the music and all of the time that I'll get to spend practicing some Bach. Bach did not write specifically for the harp, but in the Baroque era, there was a lot more flexibility in terms of instrumentation when it came to composing. So it is sort of in keeping with that to have Bach on the harp. And all sorts of instruments play transcriptions of Bach. I think it's inescapable. No matter what you play, there is some Bach. So that will be the final concert in December. And today I wanted to play a bit from the Saraban's Double from Violin Partita No. 1. I hope you'll be able to join me for these 4 mini concerts, and maybe it'll be a nice chance for you to listen to some new solo harp music, or perhaps just a nice accompaniment while you eat lunch once a month. For myself, throughout this pandemic, I've found that I've increasingly turned to art as a way to escape a lot of this stress and uncertainty. So I'm hopeful that these concerts will be a chance to pass some of that respite onto all of you as well. And there is more information about the concerts on my website, but just a reminder, they will all take place on the 3rd Friday of each month at noon Eastern Time, streaming through my YouTube channel.